afternoon. Down here at Horseshoe again. Got one session left next week. It's today and one more session, so it's just reopened after the car this morning. It opened on Monday. It's Wednesday today. It's June the 7th. Oops. Just nipped into a new. It's quite busy actually with tench fishes, but nipped into a swim that I don't know if I fished here before or not. I might have, but it'd be many years ago. Not in recent years anyway. Yeah, just had a cast around. It's really clear of weed actually, which I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. It's definitely good for presentation. But yeah, I had a few pulls already. Don't know whether it's little fish or what really, but I just had a few little knocks, little beeps on each, on both indicators actually, so yeah, we'll see. It's been cold northeasterly wind for the last week or two. Ooh, knock on the other one. But yeah, it's warm. It's going to warm up today. It's quite cold yesterday. It's been quite cold overnight. It's warming up to sort of 21, 22 degrees this afternoon. So should be a few tench around, touch wood. We'll see. You can never be too sure. But yeah, I didn't really know where to go in. I've settled in on this one because it's kind of a good area for tench really, but there was the wild card was one right in the corner over there. It's shallow and weedy. I saw some bubbles there. Quite fancied it actually, but then I thought I'd pop in here. It's kind of, yeah, a bit more proven. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Getting them pulls on the left one this time. Just spawned a load of bait over each one. Load, but a few swans of hemp with a bit of maggot in it, a bit of molasses. Over both spots. So many dragonflies. Some 20 yards of quite thick weed right in front of me, which I'm fishing over. I'm fishing the clear area over it, but I think it's going to be tricky to land the fish here with the barbless silks. I really do. I think there's potential to get stuck in the weed if I start hooking fish. Had a massive line bite on the left-hand rod. Knocked the rod tip was flying about. A load of bubbles just come up as well. Over one on the other rod actually. A load of bubbling over my right-hand rod. Well, into a fish, and as predicted, it's proving a nightmare in the weed. Yeah, it's come off. Damn it. Let's give it some stuff. Slip the hook. Well, it's just coming up for 9 o'clock now. Just lost one, which is frustrating. Did exactly as I thought was going to happen. I went straight into that big weed bed in front of me and had to give it a bit of stick. It didn't get stuck in the weeds, but the hook pulled. I was playing it with the rod tip high as I could, got up on the bank. It's doing alright actually, got it sort of almost under control, and yeah, then it came off. But it didn't feel like a massive fish or anything. Felt like a decent fish, but nothing crazy. So never mind. Let's hope I'll get another chance. Not long left now, about an hour or so. A little bit longer. Getting a bit colder. But it seems to have gone a bit quieter. It's sort of over the last couple of hours. It's a bit more bubbling, and you can tell there's a bit of fish around. I was getting a few more pulls. So after I've lost that fish, we've got a bit flat calm, nothing moving, no indications on the indicators. So yeah, We'll see though, might get another chance. Right, good morning just about. It's 11:30 at the moment. I've been here for about half an hour, probably got here just before 11 I think. Last session on Horseshoe this season. Day session. I'll keep going till the evening tonight, and that'll be it for the season on Horseshoe. I'm off tenching on, got another pit I want to try out for a little bit before I switch to the rivers later in the summer. But yeah, got my favourite swims. Rods are out, spots look good. Just spawned a bit of dead maggot, hemp and pellets with molasses over both rods. Got everything set up really. Got four rods all set up, which is a bit overkill really, but I don't know, you can drop everything off at your peg, so it doesn't really matter how much you carry. But I've got the two rods set up there, all marked out, so ready to go. So I can switch to, I've got two inline feeder maggot rigs on at the moment, and I've got set up over there, I've got another inline feeder maggot rig. Just if I get in a tangle or anything, I can just quickly chuck that one out and then sort the other rod out, so increase my fishing time. And I've got another worm rig as well, so it's just something a bit different. I might actually set up a boilie rig as well. I think the next thing I'm going to do is rake. I've got my rake with me to just rake a patch close in and bait that up and watch it for bubbles and things, and get a float rod set up. You never know. Plane coming overhead. But yeah, boiling hot day. It's going to be about 27 degrees later. It's probably about 24, it's 20 degrees at the moment in the shade. But yeah, it's probably 24 at least in the sun, and it's going to be 27, 28 sort of mid-afternoon. And so I think evening's really the best bet, but you never know. See, there's a lot of carp cruising around already. I've seen a few fish bubbling, so you never really know, but weeds definitely come up a lot, which sometimes makes it a little bit harder because there's more natural food for the tench. Also, as I found out last week, it makes landing them quite a lot harder. I only hooked one fish last week and I lost it in the weed. But I wanted to get in this swim because there's actually a bit less marginal weed in this swim, but it's still in a good area. I think there's fish in the swim that I was in last week, but I didn't really feel confident landing them, and that was proved right when I lost one in the weed. So yeah, I mean, I still think they'll kite right and get into that weed if I hook them here, but at least I'm not pulling them into the weed, which I was last week, which is a bit tricky. They kind of run towards you, go straight in the weed, and because of the barbless hooks, as soon as any tension goes off the line, they're off. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. I'm going to get raking, and yeah, I froze a load of maggots last week. I had about 3 pints left, so I've got plenty of bait. So I'll bait up a third spot in the margins here when those geese get out of the way. And you never know, I've had them in close here before, but it's quite rare on Horseshoe. It's not really much of a shelf, it just sort of goes out and it sort of stays about 3 foot really. You know, I prefer float fishing where you got a bit of a drop off from kind of 2 or 3 foot deep to 8 foot deep, and then they kind of patrol that shelf. But here it's not really like that. Crikey, geese are coming into my swim constantly. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. Carp cruising around. See the V from that one. Just a big line bite on that left hand one. The tip just whacked round. Yeah, I've just got my rake out. I'm going to rake in here, in the shade down there, and get a load of hemp and dead maggots on there. See if anything gets over it. I've seen them babbling not far out, just there. I think it was probably a carp, but you can see all that weed on the surface over there. I'm kind of fishing over most of the weed, so if I rake one in there, then you know, if the fish are in the weed, I'll be able to coax them out with a worm or such like. Oh, ducks away, don't try and eat the fake maggots on my rods. Yeah, I get to work. seen somebody rake that like before, so it might be quite big. Just pulled it in. Massive. I really saw the box coming up and rake it out. There we go, first fish of the session. Just found it in the weed I was raking. This is the spawn mix I'm putting out. Just about 5 of these little mini spawns over each spot. It's dead maggots with hemp and make this net a second. Dead maggots with hemp, a few micropellets, not many though, and molasses flavouring as well. And like I said, just about 5 spawns over each one. Going to be casting out the feeders every half hour. It's my main baiting approach really, just always at the beginning and usually just before dusk I'll put a few spawns out, because they're nothing crazy. 5 over each spot I think for now, just hopefully just to start the spots off. This one's shot off, and it's a tench, but it's really veering into that weed in the right. Keep dropped it right, I think. I'm gonna play it quite hard. I don't think it's a big fish either. Keep it moving as it goes in the weed. There we go, first fish of the day. So £5, 4 ounce male. Got a new reel off eBay yesterday, so I rushed down to the post office to get it before the post office closed last night, so I could fish with it today. But yeah, it's good. It's around 5,000 GT second hand, but it's I'm really pleased with it so far. It looks almost new. It'd be even better if it started spinning while I'm filming it. But yeah. Actually, not only is it a new reel, but it's the first time I've used this rod as well. I've had it for about, well, best part of a year almost. Got it at the sort of tail end of last year's tench fishing season. Little pike chasing. I think this little pike are taking flies off the surface. It's bizarre. But yeah, I've just started. I've been using the Tension Preem Drennan distance rods. Using the £2 ones, and these are a pair of 1.75s, which actually I much prefer. Just a little bit softer. I found you can actually play the fish a bit harder without the risk of bumping it off. Yeah, nice rods. This is a good pair from eBay as well. I've got these two together. A few bubbles coming up over the rake area. Nothing to get too excited about yet. I'll keep my eye on it. Yeah, lovely day. It's nice to have a bit of a breeze actually because it's boiling. It's about 25 degrees now. Lovely day. Far cry from the when I started this season. For the first month or two it was freezing, stormy, rainy, all sorts really. Real struggle. I mean, it still seems to be a struggle, but at least I can sit in the sun. It feels a bit more like tench weather really. So that's definitely a bonus. See what we got temperature wise, looking at about 25. Jeez. Carp cruising about. Fizzing. I've baited up this area in here, so hopefully they're on their way. their way towards it. Get my float rod next to me ready, because I don't want to have to start moving around on the bank. It's very clear and it's very close in. I will cast from where I am. Back here. It's a rod. Damn it. There certainly is some tench down there amongst the rod though. Just tried a worm, so the rod wouldn't take it and I had a little tench. Well, time's running down on me horseshoe season. It's coming up to 8 o'clock. Just caught 2 tench today, £5 4 ounce in the first hour. I thought it was I then thought it was going to be a good day. I was going to catch a few and nothing else apart from one little one on the float just now. Yeah, sometimes it kind of comes to life at this sort of time of the day, but yeah, I'm fishing in fairly clear areas and I've got a strong feeling that the tench are in the weed. Well, they're always in the weed, so no, the right hand one's quite close-ish to some weed, which is where I've had the fish, but the left hand one I've not had much all day, and that's on a very clear area, sort of straight out. Whether it's worth trying to find a sort of fishable patch near that patch of weed. I should just keep my eyes peeled. If I start seeing bubbling over there by the weed, then I'll probably try and move one of them. It's bubbling in there. See if it comes in over me baited area. Ooh, what was that? That looked like a bigger fish as well. Was that trolling? It didn't look like a rub, that. It might have been though. I removed all the weed. I'm glad I did now. Keep him out the other rod. Decent fish, might go 6. Looks out really. The other one's off. Luckily I've got 2 decent fish as well. Yeah. he's going again. Good fish, this one. Both rods went at once, and I've got a tench in each net. That's the big one there. This one's £5.4 as well. Ooh. Same as the first one, different shape. This one very long, lean fish. Just had a double hook up, so I got this one and another bigger one in the net. I think the bigger one might go 8, but here we go, £5.4. Get that one back. It's the first one, this one. £7.14. Thought he might go 8, but pretty close, really close. Here we go. Nice fish nevertheless. And a great fight, great fight. Quick couple of shots. There we go. Nice brace of fish there. It's a fairly typical sort of horseshoe style, that is. Out of absolutely nowhere, both rods fly off. It's definitely fish feeding over that left hand one, so just had a couple of pulls. Oh no, there's a tench rolling in here. It's all starting to kick off now. Some bubbles coming up down there as well, just off the rod tips. Well, 2 rod lengths out, I guess. Need to get my float rod back out in a minute, but bubbling over the right hand rod now. Don't know if you can see it on the phone, but yeah, bubbling right there. Yeah, see those bubbles, that's where my rod is. Yeah, bubbling out there. Looks pretty much where my rod is anyway. So there's a bit of a feeding spell going on. Hopefully see if I can get another one or two. Won't last for long, I know that. Crikey. A load of bubbles coming up out there. Yeah, that sort of left hand patch there. Jesus. They're feeding out there. Right over my bait. Got a longer net now. Swapped it, I did have a short one, but I need to get out and get this. At least that wind's gone down now. That one is going crazy. It's got to be a male, surely. Oh, I don't know. Crikey, the hook's come out as well. Right, this one fought like absolute crazy. Thought it was a big fish. Didn't even go 4 pounds, I don't think. Okay, so just tied this. This is the rig I've had on the fish on today. So T-rig they call it. Pretty short, probably 5 inches. See that aggressive turn on that hook. going to put that on one of my rods again now because just need confidence. And change them every now and then because I think the hooks get a little bit blunter, but that one's sharp as anything, so let's get it out there. Whoa. I've lost that one in the weed. Nice. Oh, it's madness. The other rod just went. Got another little tension leather net. This one's a 611. Just get a quick video of this one. Beautiful fish. It's a really one of the best looking fish I've had today. Really nice colour, that one.